What's going on, Final friends? Ironcane here as one of your hosts for your weekly dose of Gacha news. Today's episode will be covering collaborations, new releases, pre-registration rewards, and more. You know what I love about doing Gacha news? Is that we upload them later in the week, meaning that Legends Weekend. It's almost here, man. It's almost here. Anyways, if you guys enjoyed the video, feel free to leave it a like, comment down below what stories you'd like to hear us report on next week, and subscribe to 59 Gaming Mobile for all your Gacha related needs. With that said, let's get right on with this video. Kicking things off this week, we have Konosuba Fantastic Days and its collaboration with ReZero, which will take place next week, November 9th. The crossover event will see the addition of Emilia from ReZero, who players can get for free by completing an exclusive story where characters from Konosuba and ReZero collide. There will be 3 featured summonal units. The only one from ReZero will be Rem, the other 2 units will be Aqua, who will be matching with Emilia, and Megumin, who will be matching with Rem. In celebration of the collaboration, Sin Archbishop will appear in the arena for players to battle against. Since 200,000 players pre-registered for the event via the game's website, everyone will receive 30 skip tickets and 3 stamina beefs, a mini school potion and 5 legendary chalices, a guaranteed 4-star unit ticket, and 4,500 quartz, which is a pretty good deal if you ask me. That's a free multi right there. Along with the launch of the collaboration, players will be able to experience the next part of the game's story in Chapter 10. 2 new game modes will be added, one called the Trial of the Ancients and the Battle Arena EX. In Trial of the Ancients, players will be able to train their units even further, and in Battle Arena EX, more difficult battles will be in store with even more lucrative rewards. If you've been on the fence about trying Fantastic Days, Gail and I did a first impressions vid a little bit ago, so check it out to see if the game is for you. If you already know what it is, Konosuba Fantastic Days is immediately available on Android and iOS devices for global. By the way, I play the game pretty regularly, so add me so we can send each other some free energy. Hatsune Miku Colorful Stage is now up for pre-registration. Last week we mentioned that the game will be releasing on December 7th, so it makes sense that the game would be up for pre-registration soon after. The game is basically anime Guitar Hero, so if you're a fan of rhythm games or Hatsune Miku, you'll feel right at home here. The title will feature original bands specifically made for the mobile release, and already established bands, with character stories available as well when you need a break from the music. If the game receives 150,000 pre-registrations, players will be rewarded with 3,000 crystals, which can be used to pull characters. Players can take advantage of these potential rewards when Hatsune Miku Colorful Stage releases on Android and iOS devices for global on December 7th. On the topic of pre-registrations, Revive Witch just hit all of its registration milestones. This means that all players will receive a Warped Hand Xingxia, 1 large soul cryolite, 5 regular soul cryolites, and 150,000 mana, and 2 stamina Exlers. If you're unfamiliar with the title, it's described as a pixel art RPG where players battle in parties of 3, solve puzzles, and explore different worlds. The game has been praised heavily for its look, but has been criticized for some of the dungeons and the exploration elements being a little bland. If you'd like to see whether or not this holds true yourself, Revive Witch will be available for download on Android and iOS devices November 10th. Now let's get into some upcoming Gacha releases, starting with Blue Archive. The game will be coming to mobile devices next week on November 8th. In the previous episode, we mentioned how the title just hit all of its pre-registration rewards. So when players launch the game, they'll be gifted 2,200 Gacha currency, 150,000 credits, and 2-star unit Mutsuki. If you like shooting the crap out of enemies with cute and delicate anime waifus, then this title may be for you. It features 3D chibi art in battles, and when chilling out in the main menu, players are greeted by very detailed 2D models. Players act as teachers in the game, with the units they collect being their students. It's an interesting dynamic, but the goal is to solve mysteries that occur around the city and to deepen your bond with your students in character stories that give the player quite a bit of eye candy. If the mobile title sounds up your alley, make sure to download it and reap all the pre-registration rewards when Blue Archive launches on November 8th for Android and iOS devices. If you're looking for a new gacha to try out right now, look no further than Tales of Luminara, which just launched today. The game will feature playable stories on each one of its characters. The ones coming at launch will be Alexandra, August, Celia, Falk, Leo, Lizette, and Yelzy. Each character will have full English voice acting. A new character story will then be added every week after today. For gameplay, it looks like it will be similar to the Samurai Warrior titles, where players fight waves of enemies. Players will be able to move their characters freely with unique abilities at their disposal. For those unaware of the Tales of Luminara series, this installment is actually a pretty big deal. For the series' 25th anniversary, this installment marks the conclusion to the birth of the series, tying up any remaining loose ends. It features all new characters and story, with characters from other games confirmed not to be making an appearance. Only new characters will appear in this title. If you find yourself thoroughly enjoying the game, there's an anime coming out that will highlight all the big scenes integral to the plot. The game is being developed by Bandai Namco, and by the looks of it, you can tell that they put a lot into the title, with it almost emulating the same type of quality that you would see for some console games. If you'd like to try out the game for yourself, again, it's available right now for Android and iOS devices. Last up for me this week, I'll be talking about Touhou Lost Word and its celebration for its half anniversary. But before we do, there's currently some spooky shenanigans going on left over from the game's Halloween event called Rumia and Remelia's Trick or Bullets. Its EX mode will open tomorrow, with the entire event itself being up until the 11th of this month. Alright, now for the half anniversary. As of this episode airing, there will be 2 sets of login bonuses until the 11th. A 3-time school EXP event being up until the end of tomorrow, and if players log in tomorrow as well, they'll receive a new music track called I'm Alright. Additionally, on the 5th, the Festival of Open and Closed Eyes will begin. Units Satori and Keshi will be making an appearance. And that's all that's announced in the meantime. If you'd like to participate in everything Touhou Lost Word, the game is immediately available on Android and iOS devices as well as PC for global. That wraps up things on my end this week. Let's throw things over to Nolar to see what's going on in the Gacha world, JP and beyond. Take it away, man.
Starting us off for JP and beyond, we have a new mobile entry into the Mana series called Echoes of Mana. The mobile title will be having its first closed beta starting on the 16th of this month until the 24th. Up to 3,000 people for both Android and iOS devices will be able to sign up for an application from now until the 11th. A Square Enix account is required to complete the application, though. Echoes of Mana is described as an action RPG that features iconic characters throughout the series. The game promises to stay true to the Mana series' core mechanics, with modes like multiplayer being available for players to fight one another. Again, if you're interested in participating in the beta, make sure to submit an application via the game's official site before the 11th. Echoes of Mana will be available for Android and iOS devices worldwide sometime in 2022. We just talked about the release of Gates of Nightmares last week, and already it's having a collaboration. Like we mentioned in last week's episode, the game's character designs in Gate of Nightmares are done by Hiro Mashima, the manga author of Fairy Tail, so to no one's surprise, the two will be having a crossover event. The event will start on November 11th and conclude on December 1st. The 2 characters coming during the collaboration will be Natsu Dragneel, the Dragon Slayer, and the Celestial Wizard Lucy Heartfilia. Both Natsu and Lucy will have new lines done by their respective voice actors just for the event. If players log in throughout the duration of the crossover celebration, they'll receive up to 3,000 red gems, which is enough for 1 consecutive summon. As a reminder, if you'd like to join in on the collaboration festivities, make sure to log in before December 1st. Gate of Nightmares is immediately available for Android and iOS devices for JP. Love Candy Crush and Dragon Quest? Well, this next story might pique your interest. Dragon Quest Keshi has revealed its launch date, which will be December 1st. Like previously stated, the game is literally a match 3 puzzle game, like Candy Crush, but with slimes and other iconic Dragon Quest characters. If you're interested, the mobile title is currently up for pre-registration, and for global players, there are plans for an eventual Western release, but no word on a specific time frame at this point. To read it once more, Dragon Quest Keshi will be available on Android and iOS devices next month on December 1st. If you're a hardcore Evangelion fan, you might want to check out its collaboration with White Cat Project. The mobile game launched its crossover event with Evangelion nearly a week ago on October 29th, but players still have until the 30th of November to participate. Shinji Ikari, Rei Ayanami, Asuka Langley, Mari Makinami, Kaworu Nagisa will be all up for grabs on a limited time gacha banner. Each of the units will have 3D models as well as a 2D art, as you've seen previously, with the characters' voice actors reprising their roles as well. Players can acquire the Spear of Longius through a special quest tied to the special scenario made just for the crossover event. Any Spear characters can equip it as well. Players can also receive a different version of Rei Ayanami for completing the normal version of the story event for the collaboration. So even if you manage to get brutally shafted, there's 1 new unit that's a freebie. There's still some time until December 1st if you're looking to take part in the collab, so don't miss out. White Cat Project is immediately available on Android and iOS devices for JP. For our last collaboration story, Granblue Phantasy announced that we'll be having a crossover event with Doraemon. For those unaware of what Doraemon is, it's a classic Japanese manga and anime series, one of the most popular at that. So far, in terms of the event, we know it will start December of this year and will at least feature this character, who is definitely Doraemon himself. And for now, that's all the info on the collab. But as more details get revealed, expect us to cover it on future episodes of Gacha News. Granblue Phantasy is available as a web browser game on any devices that can use a web browser. All things must come to an end, and for Idola Phantasy Star Saga, that time is nigh. It was announced that for the mobile title will be officially shutting down on January 12th, 2022. As of this episode airing, all purchases for in-game currency have ceased, with refunds being issued out of purchases beginning after January 12th. The game was described as a mobile RPG that returned to the series' original battle roots while implementing classic animations. The title originally released back in 2018 in November, nearly making it 3 years old at this point, which isn't the worst we've seen for a gacha's lifespan. What does this mean for the Bold Trend release global version? There's no news or announcement, but it is never a good sign when the JP version ends before the global one. If you'd like to try out Idola Phantasy Star Saga before it shuts down completely on January 12th, the game is available on Android and iOS devices for JP. And that ends this week's edition of Gacha News. If you liked the video, hit that like button. If you're new here and want to see more mobile gaming content, consider hitting that subscribe button and notification bell so you know when we drop videos. On behalf of the 5-9 Mobile Gaming crew, thanks a lot, and we'll see you all next week.